Continue with the remaining portion of chapter 6 of literature, which is the magic of touchscreens. We have seen earlier that in 1982 the first multi-touch device was developed by Nimish Mehta, and later on in 1983 American Myron Kruger, he also created a vision-based multi-touch system which enabled a rich set of gestures which were similar to today's this pinch to zoom gesture, like we try to make the size bigger of our pictures in the mobile. So afterwards, in 1984 we see that Bell Labs, he also developed a touchscreen which could change the images with more than one hand. And afterwards, in 1983 we see that Hewlett Packard, an American company, it also launched a touchscreen enabled home computer HP 150, which with this screen was surrounded by infrared emitters, and the detectors could sense where the user's finger came down on the screen. But this Hewlett Packard, this touchscreen mobile was very expensive, and it had also some issues. And the biggest problem of this Hewlett Packard mobile was that the users that the muscle fatigue which came from the users sticking his hand out for so long that it was termed as gorilla arm. But we have seen that this infrared sensors, they could collect dust and required also frequent cleanings. They had to be cleaned regularly. Again in 1993, the IBM, it was another American company, it also launched the Simon Personal Communicator. It was one of the first mobiles with the touchscreen technology. What was the features? It had certain features that it had the paging capabilities, email, calendar application, then address book, calculator, and also had a pen-based sketch pad. It also had a resistive touchscreen which required the use of a stylus pen to navigate through the menus and to input the data, to put the data inside the mobile phone. So this was used in 1993. Again, that year itself, in 1993, we see that Apple, another American company, it also launched a touchscreen PDA device that year, and it was known as the Newton PDA. And Apple's CEO at that time was John Sculley, and he gave the term PDA or personal digital assistant. And this IBM Simon Personal Communicator, Apple's PDA, it had certain features. That is, it recognized the handwriting, it could recognize the handwriting of the people, and it was controlled with a stylus. But it also had some difficulties. So in 1997, Palm Computing, it introduced its own PDA, that is Personal Digital Assistant Pilot. And Palm's PDA, it was more successful than the IBM or the Apple's products because its handwriting recognition software worked very well. It could easily recognize people's handwriting. So it was simple to learn, and it would copy how a person wrote on a piece of paper. So these were the features, or these features were better than the Apple's or the IBM's computer, you can see, or the mobiles. And near the end of this decade of the 20th century, we see that the University of Delaware, a student named Wayne Westerman, he published a research paper in which he wrote about hand tracking, finger identification, and coded manipulation on a multi-touch surface. That is, you can see in page 45, the picture is given there. That is, you could easily, by touching it, you could work. There were many processes by which it could work. And this paper, the research paper, which was developed by Wayne Westerman, it detailed the mechanisms what we know today as a multi-touch capacitive technology, and this has become a feature, one of the important features in modern touchscreen equipped devices. So Westerman and his teacher named John Elias they formed a company called Fingerworks in 1998. It began producing a line of multi-touch gesture-based products, which included a gesture-based keyboard, all the touchscreen for people who suffer from disabilities. So Fingerworks was bought by Apple in 2005, and this acquisition was much more than it was, you can say, much better than the iPhone and much better than the iPhones which were developed by the Apple company, because it perceived the touchscreens forever, and it was a watershed product because it made touchscreens a mass consumed entity, that is, everyone could use it. And the iPhone was the first product which made touchscreens a user friendly product. The touch sensitive screen which the iPhone uses, it included a layer of capacitive material. That is, what is capacitive material? That is, it is a sensitive touchscreen which can be controlled with a very light touch. But the capacitors, they were arranged according to a coordinate system. Its circuitry, it could sense changes at each point along the grid, and at every point of the grid, it generated its own signal. It gave its own signal when it was touched and relayed that signal to the processor. And this allowed the location of simultaneous touches in multiple locations. That is, in various places you could touch it, and then it could work. Another utility of this iPhone touchscreens is the software, and because it worked efficiently, the software worked efficiently, and the software was designed to interpret the touch patterns and differentiate between a single touch, a sliding touch, or a pinch touch. So this software, it will distinguish between the different touch patterns, or it will differentiate between a single touch, a sliding touch, like this when you slide in the mobile phones, sliding touch, or a pinch touch to zoom these things. So when these factors were combined, it resulted in what? In the greater user experience, and it has now become a benchmark for the technological world. And since 2007, many companies, they have emulated or they have imitated the iPhone model with great success. So because of this, because of the popularity of the iPhones, you can say, or because of the popularity and demand for the touchscreen phones, this technology has become affordable too. That is, many people, even the poor people or middle class people, can also afford now to buy this iPhones. So students, I hope you have understood this chapter, and if you have any queries, you can ask me in the Zoom class, and also you can send me messages in my WhatsApp number. I'll send you the question answers, and thank you and have a nice day.